a lot of the things that you share about how developers, like in terms of who you're serving, are the sort of first class citizens and clients of Goldman Sachs. How did that become such a core central focus of the technology organization that these are actually the most important customers or some of the top customers that we serve, both internally within Goldman and externally through the different communities? Talk to us about that priority shift.
That shift happened fairly naturally the moment where you actually start listening to your clients, because the clients were demanding more and more of that. We started to actually have like clients that were starting to ask, okay, I just hired a number of quants and a number of developers. They want to talk to you. Who should I talk to? And then you start to learn that not serving those developers would be like not answering the phone for a client. It would be unthinkable. And so then the question is, how do we support them and how do we make them happy? Now we give the right communication, and how do we start thinking about service instead of applications? How do we start externalizing and so forth? So I have to say that early on, that's also why how Marquee was born. Was really born out of a pattern shift on our clients, and that actually is what drove. Given that Goldman is extremely kind of client oriented and service oriented, to really try to say, okay, you know what, we need to start paying attention to those developers, because they are our clients, and what we can do and the way we can interact and the way we can form a deep relationship with our clients is linked inextricably with how we serve their developers. And so that's basically how this came to fruition at the end of the day.
And once you were aware of the opportunity and the decision was made around that, were there any unexpected challenges or areas of friction that you all navigated through that experience to help get to the operating place where this was normal and a part of the culture?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I have to say that what generally happens at that particular point, if you don't manage the process, is every group that interacts with clients and developers starts to essentially create their own thing, their own way to serve the developers. And so there is a risk of fragmentation, which can lead to a fragmented developer experience, which then will translate in a fragmented client experience. And so I think we had to kind of put some back pressure to that tendency. That's why we started to ask ourselves the questions that led to the platforms, because you can't really have a uniform developer experience if you don't have that. And so we started to work on, okay, let's have a single developer portal. It's developer.gs.com, everything goes there. Let's have a team that actually builds APIs for the firm. There is a single sort of adjudicating team. You can't build your own API with your own URLs and your own syntax and your own paradigm and protocol like randomly, because that developers will see through that. And so that led to forming those groups that will decide on the API design. Data was kind of the next one, again, because you start presenting data in different ways with different data models. That of course we did, and of course we had to correct that like everybody. And so that's why we started to think about Alloy, which was the name of the legend before it was open source. Can we create an extensible JSON-based data model that we can actually use to present data in even the most complex of contracts in a way that is machine readable consistently across the firm. And so that's how you kind of peel the onion. You start thinking about, first of all, why do we need a consistent experience? And then you create, one developer portal. And then you start saying, okay, it's one data model, et cetera, et cetera. So I would say that, developer experience is kind of a little bit of an art, and it takes a while to kind of internalize. It sometimes goes against the natural tendency of going super fast and just getting from point A to point B in the quickest way possible, which is generally not the one that actually gives you sustained velocity. And so when my people are saying, why do I have to go to the API design team? I'm just going to do it. It's like, speed versus velocity, right? Speed is a lot of action, but without a vector, and eventually it's going to slow you down. And velocity is like speed with purpose. Okay, you might actually be, definitely, like, if you're running even 800 meters against people that don't run, these people that are juniors, they're going to overrun you the first 100 meters inevitably. They're just going to run ahead of you, and but you catch them up at about after about 200-300 meters depending on age. And so, and this is the same thing. You kind of keep the course. You kind of actually start to put the tenet that developers will see across. They will connect the dots for you. You want to actually to do that before they do. So that those are some of the challenges that we had, and we've been working through that.